Yep, and then we also have, and then some of these bucks are, well, actually all these bucks are from Oak Creek, and we raised here, so what's up? There is a mountain goat up here. That's actually, I believe that was here before the range, before, right? So earlier. And we've got a bobcat over above the door. You guys seen some of those? Bobcats. Have you ever seen bobcats? And then we also have actually some different turkeys. And I'll actually have Dawn help me out on this one. So the turkey up here, guys, you see it flying? That is a Merriam. That is a Merriam, okay? So then there's actually 4, here you want to say 5 different turkeys.
There's different species of turkey, just like there is different species of deer. So the Merriam is up more out west, Colorado, a few in Nebraska, Dakotas, different parts of the country. But that is a Merriam. When my son was 10 years old, I saw a 10-year-old in here, right? When he was 10 years old, he made a promise to me. Okay? He said if he made good grades, I'd take him hunting. Okay? He came back and made good grades from then on. I never had to worry about it. I took him on a hunting trip somewhere across the United States. But that was his goal, is to kill all the species of the turkey. That's his Merriam. This is his Rio Grande. Does anybody know where that Rio Grande turkey might come from? Texas. Boy, I got a smart one. All right. And then that one in the hallway with the big spurs and stuff on it, that is a Osceola turkey. Anybody have any idea where an Osceola turkey might come from?
Florida.
Florida. Good job. And then the one in the back, and these two right here, and that one over there, are Eastern turkey. Anybody know where an Eastern turkey might come from?
Missouri.
Missouri, right. But deer are the same way. And I am not smart enough to pronounce the name of the whitetail deer. It's all kinds of weird, it's a long, go ahead.
How you got me?
Oh, man. While he's thinking hard, because he's not any smarter than I am, I know it. There's deer, Canadian deer are different species, Midwest deer are different species, Southern deer are different species. There's different species of deer, so. All right? That's a big elk. Does anybody know where elk come from? Where they live?
That's west.
Out west, yep. Colorado, Utah. There's a few in Texas. There's some Canada, all over. Okay? Yeah, that little bear, that's a cool little bear, isn't it?
It's a black man.
That's right. That's right.
All right, guys, we'll show you on a little round here. Let's see if we can find it.
It's soft.
The other thing is that the doe will actually lick them clean too. So they try to stay scent free. Anything else, Jacob? You think of anything else about fawns?
You know how many fawns a mom will have? Usually?
5.
5? 5's a bit high. 2, you're right. 5, we have seen them have 5. We've seen as many as 6. Typically, we're going to see 2 though. 6 was a one-time thing. Usually they're really small.
We kind of found
A couple days after she was born, we found her. She had a broke leg, so we picked her up. We called Dr. Vince, which is our vet. He come out. He kind of did a little check on her, and the break was clean. So he put a big pink cast on her, and she's been hanging out with us ever since.
she's been starting to use it again a little bit. So that's why I'm going to take you in a couple groups, just a few of you guys, so she doesn't get too
Here's the salt. Let me see if I get a lick your ear. How about that? Turn your too nervous right now. Oh, nope, she got a lick.
The other thing about
Anybody brave enough to let her lick your ear?
I will.
Okay.
Alright guys, this is our breeder barn, so this is pretty much where everything happens as far as our breeding side of things go. The lodge is more of our hunting operation side, and that's kind of Jesse's baby. So we'll flip over here. This is more where I'm at most of the time. I was actually over here before you guys showed up. So This is where me and Nick, our manager, we have our office in here. We do all of our treating of different illnesses and things like that from within here. We also vaccinate and everything in the other room that I'll show you guys. But deer actually come in here. That's why it stinks. This is where anytime we have a bottle baby, especially it's this time of year that we'll have them, we'll pull them in. Unfortunately, the only one that we have right now is the one over there that you guys got to pet earlier. So it also works out well because anytime there's a bottle baby in here, it's usually sick and we wouldn't be able to come in here. So you guys are here at a good time. This comes in right here. That's why we don't have glass on our door so deer can't jump into our office. And then they come around the circle and they'll come into our back room. And our back room is kind of where the magic happens. It's where everything happens around here. It's how we keep our deer healthy. You want to talk about the dart gun?
Looks like a snake. No, why is there syrup up there?
So, there's a lot, that is a good question. There's a lot of different ideas and theories on how to keep fawns healthy and alive and things like that. The syrup, I've never actually had to use it, so I've been here 2 years. It's something that we can get sugars into the babies quickly. You guys know this syrup is full of sugar, it's really good, but we can put it in our fawns. It'll kind of give them a little pick-me-up whenever they're not doing so well. Like I said, it's not something that we use often, but it's something that if we don't have another medicine on hand or something like that, we'll use that. You guys have any other questions? We're going to skip the dart gun. No, the dart gun is actually, it stays on the wall unless we need it. These deer still have a wild instinct, so they're within a pen, but they are still wild. You can't just go in there and catch them and things like that. So we use the dart gun not often because we don't really have often health problems, but we use it to treat any of the illnesses and things like that. We can dart antibiotics, we can dart dewormers, things like that, that just kind of help it keeps the stress off the animal, I guess I should say. So that's where it hangs. Everybody always has questions about it. What you got?
What happens if the deers bite each other?
If they bite each other? We do have some deer that fight in the pens. It's not usually an issue. They don't hurt each other too bad though. Most of the time if they're biting each other, they're just playing. You know, if they stand up and they're kicking each other, usually they'll just separate from each other and they'll work it out. We bring our deer in through this other room. There's a series of rooms just like this, and we'll open a door and let the deer through. That way we can separate them within the walls. That way we don't have to get in and touch them and physically be with them because it'll stretch them out. And if you back a deer into a corner, it really doesn't like it. But we can bring it all around. We bring it into our first box here, and then we can separate with our second box. You'll see there's a drop gate. Pull the cable above your head. That'll separate all the deer. And then there's a slide, I'll put them in this box here. This is a scale. We weigh all of our deer every time we have them in here. It gives us a good number on what they're doing as far as if they're healthy. We have records for the past 5 years or so. So any deer that's been on the property, we know exactly how healthy it's been going into fawning, into the winter. Typically we do this with our does 3 times a year. So we do it before fawning, and we get some vaccinations and things like that on board before they have babies. Then we do it in the fall to separate the babies from the moms. We'll wean them. And then we do it again typically in the early winter, early spring. We'll do it again whenever we have the time and get some more vaccinations and things like that on board and deworm as well. So I'll funnel you guys through here. I'll kind of show you how the chute works when you get in here. That way we're not all cramped. We're going to have to cram in here. It's a little tight. It's a little loud too. You guys can come on in. You scoot over. Everybody will fit. So you see, he's in our scale now. You can tell he's had one too many cheeseburgers this week. So we'll run our deer in here. We'll slide this door open. I won't do that because we're all tight. They'll come in. Then they're in here. We'll run their heads in through the bottom, in through the back. We can drop our gate. That'll fall on them. That'll hold them there. We'll drop the floor too. So the floor's up. They'll walk in. We'll put this down on them, and then that'll let them out. Drop the floor just like that. You got it. They can't go nowhere. They can't hurt themselves. They can't hurt us. We give them shots and things, and then we can send them on out. There's 2 doors right there. We're going to open and go out, and they'll run just out there like anything else. You guys got any questions?
No. Is that like a shotgun?
What you got? That's a scale. So that'll tell us how heavy Jesse is.
He's 195.
Yeah. Yep. 195.
How many cheeseburgers have you had in the last week?
Jesse, how many cheeseburgers you have?
Way too many, because I'm 100.
Opens between them. You can go into the next room, and it goes all the way down and around the corner and into the room that we were just in. That way, like I said, that way we don't have to be in there with the deer. Anytime that you're with the deer, it's more dangerous on you and the deer. So we minimize that as much as possible. And if you can keep stress down on them, typically they have less health problems. Do you guys know what deer eat?
Hey.
Hay? What did you say? Wheat. All those are good answers. Deer eat just about anything they can browse. So anything green, they'll usually eat it. Welcome to our breeder pens. We have them all the way down. We got a couple around the corner there. Right now we have does in each pen. We have babies in there as well. You probably won't see the babies because they're born relatively soon. So they're going to be hunkered down, kind of like we talked about before. These does are like, what in the world's happening? But this stuff here that I just threw in there is what we call fodder. This is wheat. This is something that'll typically bring them to the top of the pens. They like it a lot. It's kind of like a treat to them, but it also speeds up their digestive system so they can get more out of our feed. So we run a mix of hay and a bunch of other stuff. So this helps them digest it a little quicker, a little better, and we'll get everything out of it. So this is dirty stuff, or I'd let you eat it, but it's been on the floor. But we grow this in a building that we'll show you guys on your way out. We won't bore you with that too much. What you got?
What is this black stuff?
That is actually sunflower. So within there we have sunflowers mixed in with our wheat. We have just a little bit of sunflower. You guys can circle around it, that's fine. The sunflower adds vitamin E. So vitamin E helps the horns grow bigger. What's the big green thing in the barn there? What's the name of it?
Wow.
Nope, none of y'all get a piece.
Reader. Shooter.
Close.
A shoot. Shoot.
He beat you too. How many deer do we have in each pen?
7. Shoot.
No, I don't care about it.
How many spots does a fawn have?
300.
Jeez.
300.
Should have brought more fodder. What else you got? You got another question? Oh no. What's the difference between an antler and a horn? I ain't got no more.